Yo, what's up, man? Hector here, strongandsick.com. In this video, we're gonna be continuing with our how to build a stronger, more capable body with one kettlebell and your body weight so you can boost your kettlebell workouts series part 2. That is a very long title. So in the first video, we talked about cross-body stabilization. We broke down the whys behind all that so that we can practice that. And then from there, like I said, it's gonna boost your next kettlebell workout, all right? And it was all based around compression. So 2 ways to stimulate the rotator cuff. One is through compression. That is literally just getting out on the floor, getting your hands on the ground. I prefer and I recommend it barefoot if possible, so that way you can leverage all of the gathering of information. That's the official scientific term, okay? Today we're gonna be breaking down the second part, and that is distraction. So the next way to stimulate the rotator cuff is through distraction, and we're gonna be using that with one kettlebell today, all right? Let's get started. Okay, so one of the best ways to improve your shoulder health, so that way you can have a better press, so that way you can have a better snatch, front squat, push up, you name it, anything that involves a shoulder, is strengthening the grip. And we talked about that in the last episode. So if you missed that, over the corner of my shoulder, you'll see the next episode pop up there. If you're new to this series, watch that first and then come back to this video. And one of the best ways to strengthen your grip is good old-fashioned kettlebell carry. Kettlebell carry does a couple of things. For one, it creates the distraction. It pulls the shoulder out, so getting the rotator cuff to turn on. You can also do the same exact thing by hanging from a barbell. Does the exact same thing, but not everybody has a barbell at their disposal, okay? So there's 3 ways to carry the kettlebell, okay? 2 of which continue compression, which you can still do, but I highly encourage you just good old-fashioned farmer's carry, all right? And the way that I encourage you to practice carrying is don't grab it like a dumbbell and like completely, don't grab all the way this way for this purpose, okay? I want you to focus on strengthening your fingers. So one of the biggest things that I see when it comes to learning the kettlebell snatch test, even kettlebell swings, is people will begin to overgrip. Kettlebell clean as well. People will begin to overgrip. Why do they overgrip? They overgrip because they lack the confidence and they lack the strength in the fingers. And usually the pinky and the ring finger are the weakest points, okay? Once you can peel these open, everything else tends to fall apart. So what I encourage you to do is when you're practicing your carries is practice it with just the hook of your fingers. It's pretty much how I grip everything. How I grip the barbell, how I grip the kettlebell is always grab here. I don't go all the way in, okay? For the purpose of strengthening my fingers, okay? So when I grab, I don't go palm all the way in and then loop, okay? Because as the bell begins to move, it may start to grind up the hand a little bit. So I encourage you to practice your carries with just a hook grip and then use your thumb to lock over the middle finger, okay? And this is how I encourage you to practice your carries. But it distracts the shoulder, builds a rotator cuff. Now there's 3 ways on how you can carry how you can carry the kettlebell, as I mentioned, okay? Option 1 is the farmer's carry. Option 2 is you have an overhead carry. So this continues compression of the shoulder. Now, this may not be a good variation if you already have shoulder problems. So if you already have a problem getting your arm overhead, we want to maintain elbow locked, shoulder connected down, bicep lined up with the ear, okay? If you can't do this, this is not a good progression or variation for you, okay? So Greg Cook, I love his definition of stability. He says stability is strength with integrity under load. So stability is strength, holding a load, okay, with integrity. What is integrity? Think about integrity with your words, alignment, right? Whenever you say this person is out of integrity, it's he says one thing, does another thing. So his actions and his words are not in alignment. So whenever I say integrity, I want you to think alignment. So can we maintain wrist, elbow, shoulder, bicep aligned to the ear, keeping the shoulder connected. Not coming out, but keeping it connected. Can we maintain that in this overhead carry? And can you walk that kettlebell 50 yards and back? If you can, then you've got good stability, good integrity, good strength to press that bell, snatch that bell, do anything that goes overhead, even work on chin-ups and pull-ups. If you can't, you're not ready for that bell yet. You're not even ready for that exercise or that movement pattern yet. So this is why, again, this whole series is about the concepts of strength training to have a greater impact on your workouts. That's option one, okay? Option two is good old-fashioned rack carry, okay? So carrying the bell in the rack position. It's still centered around compression because it's compressing the midsection, compressing the shoulder, everything is staying compressed here, okay? Same thing, we want to maintain alignment. Wrist, elbow, okay? We don't want the wrist to move out of alignment with the elbow, okay? We want it to be as vertical as possible, okay? We don't want to be slouching, standing up straight, okay? You're gonna notice there's a lot of overlap. Don't do this with double kettlebell because you're not getting cross body stabilization, which is what we talked about in yesterday's episode, okay? One kettlebell magnifies other compensations. So if you slouch, if you kick your hip out, things like that will start to magnify. Holding it in the rack position, can you walk it down and back, let's say 50 paces or 50 yards, okay? If you can work on this variation. And then the last variation is just, like I said, good old-fashioned farmer's carry, okay? Suitcase deadlift, hooking it with the hook of the fingers. And what I like to do is take this free hand, okay, and push the ground away. And the hand with the kettlebell, I'm pushing it through the floor, and then I'll work on my walking from here, all right? But cross body stabilization, this side of my midsection, this whole side of my body is lit up because of this load, because the bell's trying to do this. It's trying to pull me in that direction. So reflexively, I have to fire everything on this other side to maintain integrity. All right, that's it. Super simple. These episodes are gonna be super short to the point. If you're not progressing in your kettlebell workouts, if you're having little nagging aches and pains pop up, you don't understand the concept of strength training. And that's why I'm putting this whole series together for you. If you have not yet done the little exercise from episode number 1 of this series, part 1 of this series, do that first. Then work on carrying a kettlebell, one kettlebell, hooking it with your fingers, holding. If you're limited on space, so maybe it's like, man, Hector, I don't have a lot of space. Because remember, this is still honors the strength engine. I talked about the strength engine yesterday. The strength engine contains 3 components. Less is more approach, fewer moving parts, high accessibility. So this does take a less is more approach because it's going to get a lot of work done. A lot of muscle stimulation. It's going to work your whole entire body. You're getting a lot of things done. Number 2, less moving parts, fewer moving parts. Only one kettlebell. You don't need 2 kettlebells. And then number 3, high accessibility. You can do this anywhere. You can do it in your office. You can do it traveling. Doesn't matter. So if you're limited on space, you don't have anywhere to do this, maybe you work a desk job, grab the kettlebell, hold it in the rack position, and just march in place. That's it. This is the exact same thing as walking, right? 50 paces. Instead, do 50 marches, do 50 march in places. Do 50 march in places here. Do 50 march in places here. This simulates as if you're walking a distance. Test both sides. You may find a discrepancy, a compensation, an asymmetry between left and right. Own it. Spend more time with the other side. And I guarantee you, not always good to make guarantees, but I can pretty much guarantee you, if you understand these concepts, it's gonna make anything single kettlebell that you do better. And again, what's at the foundation of all this? anti-rotational forces. If we can't maintain integrity with a kettlebell on one side in a static position, just picking it up and holding this, if we can't do this here, and we can't do it in a dynamic, so we've got static motor control here, and then we have dynamic motor control here, right? If we can't own this in those two controlled spaces, how are we gonna do that when we're explosively driving through for a kettlebell swing, a snatch, a press, working a one-arm push-up? The answer is you can't, right? So that's it for this episode. Put this stuff into action. Drop something in the comments. Let me know how you liked episode number 1, and let me know how you like this one. And if you want to stay in tune is the word, I guess, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the notification button. That way you'll be notified when the next episode in this series publishes, okay? So there'll be one more episode in this 3-part series, and then we'll be putting together another series for you, all right? So that's all I got. Put that in action, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.